Video, I'm going to share with you how I use Smart Notebook to create geometric figures for my worksheets or even for my online assessments or my paper assessments. And I'll just go through how I use some of the features. One of the things I like to do is create a circle that I use for my endpoints. I'm going to click on my mouse tool so I can change the properties of the circle. And I'm going to say I want to have a solid fill, make sure it's a solid fill that is white, and the line style, I'll make it a little bit lighter. And now I'll be able to create replicas of this. I'm just going to click it and choose from its options Infinite Cloner. And now you see that infinity sign. I can just drag circles off of this to create endpoints. You'll see that in a moment. And I'll take a line segment tool, and I'm going to draw my figure here. And now I use my circle tool to create endpoints. And this is the feature of the Infinite Cloner. You just drag right off of it, and it'll create exact replicas that you can place throughout your drawing. And now we see we have our irregular concave pentagon. And if I want to add some geometric markings to this, I can use the triangle tool. Now I'll go back to my mouse pointer and I'll change the properties of this so it'll be solid. I'll make it red, and I'll make the line red as well. And now I can use these to represent parallel line marks. So the little arrow tool, that's my options. I'm going to clone it. And now that I have these two together, if I click and I hold the shift button and click, they're both together. Now I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to click the options again and clone them. And I have my parallel line marks on these opposite lines here. If I wanted to put angle marks in, I would come back to the line tool. I would choose this arc. And back to my mouse tool, I want to make this arc a little bit thinner and make it red. Now I can rotate it and place it on the angle I want. I'll clone it. And then I'll clone this one. And now that I've repositioned it, so we see we have our congruent angles and parallel line marks on our geometric figure. And now I'm going to click and highlight everything. I'm going to choose Group. So it all acts as one image, so I can move it easily. If I want to, I can now clone this image. And then I would ungroup it if I wanted to edit the cloned image. As I ungroup, I can delete, I can modify, and then I can regroup. Similarly, this can be done with any type of geometric figure. You can start to throw algebraic expressions in, and then you would take your screenshots and post them into your Word documents or your online assessment or whatever program we want to put an image into, just to show you some of the images I've made in this Smart Notebook file. After you create one, you just ungroup it and modify the text. So these are some of the trig ones I've created. Here I took a clone of the page so that I had all the same images. So for my in-class examples, and I cloned it so I had images that I can use for Kahoot, or I can use these images for Haiku, or whatever the learning management system you want to put them into. I've taken images from Google and superimposed triangles on them to create application problems, and then you screenshot these and put them in to any web app or paper document. Problems for law of signs. So here are my haiku images. Took screenshots of these and uploaded them. Another application problem. So for the trig classes, in discrete math, we talk about spanning trees. So if graph G is our graph and we're making a multiple choice question, I just cloned the graph G and deleted edges out and said which of these is a spanning tree of G. This one you see I added an edge that was not originally in G, so this is meant to throw them off. Here we added an extra vertex and edge. Using Kruskal's algorithm to find a minimum spanning tree. So Smart Notebook gives us an easy way to generate images. Again, once I had this, I cloned it, and then I just changed the edges to red as I was guiding the problem through with the class. And they saw how I chose the cheapest edges, and I started changing them over to red until I had all of the edges, or all of the vertices connected. And then I deleted out the back edges to get the minimum spanning tree. So the black edges are gone, the red edges were the minimum cost edges, and then we added the numbers up to get the minimum cost for spanning this network. So these are just some ideas of custom graphics you can create for your math classes, whether it's graph theory, or trigonometry, or geometry.